Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Tuesday, August 25th, 2020, and we again find ourselves in the final hour of the trading day, my favorite time to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions. I say this because during the day you have the algorithms, you have the day traders, they are the ones that are in control of the price. At the end of the day, the last hour, last few minutes, large financial institutions come in and start making their decisions. They're dealing with the most money, very, very smart people, best technology, best information, and they start making their decisions and they take the price control away from the day traders and the algorithms. I consider them smart money, and I think personally it's a good idea to piggyback on what they're doing at the end of the day. I think it gives you an edge. So anyway, thank you all for coming. Always appreciate everybody being here. I think we have a great group, and I appreciate you spending your time and investing your time here, and I hope it is helping you with your trading and your investing. Hey, Kamal is here. Hey, buddy. Good chatting with you during the day as always, and thank you for the results of your scanner today. Miko is here. Hey, Miko. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you and the family are doing well. Hi, Dan. Good to see you, sir. Thanks for coming. Hi, Steve Burns. Good to see you, my friend. Always an honor and a privilege to have Steve here. Thank you so much, Steve. I appreciate it, and I know everyone else does, and hope you're having a good day. Johan is here. Hi, Johan. Good to see you, my friend. I'm looking forward to our first lesson tomorrow, so hope you're having a good day, and yeah, we'll get working tomorrow, and I'll teach you everything that I know. All right, well, let's see. Market kind of tale of two worlds today. Dow Jones is down, down 99 points, down 0.35%. The NASDAQ is up today, up 68 points, up 0.6%, and the S&P is up 8.4, up about 0.25%. So it's been kind of a wild, choppy day today. So it's kind of interesting. So let's take a look here. All right, well, listen, here's the plan for today. First of all, we're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back, take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, and how I'm going to manage them moving forward. I have had a bunch of day trades today, so I am going to show you those day trades on the intraday charts. After that, we're going to go over and take a look at your current trades. I have them up on the board, so we'll go through one by one and take a look. After that, I'm going to switch gears for a minute, talk a little bit about trading psychology, trading philosophy. Today actually is more of a kind of a trader's tips, something that can help improve your trading from a psychological standpoint, I suppose, as well. So we're going to talk about that. After that, I have gone down through my watch list, and Kamal has been kind enough to share his the results of his scan with me. We're going to go through those. I do have 3 requirements whenever I'm looking to enter a new trade. First requirement, I want to look for a confluence or a combination of indicators lining up ideally on multiple time frames. I look at each indicator like MACD, RSI, ATR channels, moving averages. I look at those as potential areas, potential levels where new groups of buyers will come into the market, and you'll put yourself in the best position. You'll improve your odds dramatically to have a profitable trade if you're in the company with as many other buyers as possible. So that's why I like to look for a confluence combination of indicators. Secondly, after that, it's very important that even if you have a good confluence of signals, that you look for a good risk to reward ratio. You can have a great confluence, but the risk to reward ratio may be out of whack. I want to be able to make at least 2 times or more to the upside compared to what I'm losing to the downside, based upon valid support below me and based upon valid and likely resistance above me. And then number 3, it's very important, please take a few seconds each day or a few minutes and take a look at your current positions. Ask yourself, am I too highly correlated, right? With the market going up, sometimes their emotions get the best of them. Just make sure that you have some diversification in your holdings. You don't want to just have all tech. I mean, it's great if it goes up, but if it doesn't go up, then you can have a bad day, right? So try to diversify among different industries, in your stock holdings and try to get outside of stocks as well, and possibly diversify into gold, silver, oil, bonds, the dollar, things like that. So we're going to go down through the watch list, or we're going to go down through the results of the scanner, and we'll go through, look for those 3 requirements, and if I find something at the end of the day that looks good and meets all those requirements, I'll enter the trade at the end of the day. And then after the market closes, if anybody has any questions about what I discussed today, if you need any clarification on anything I discussed today, feel free, just ask in the chat. If you have any stock symbols that you'd like me to look at before the market closes, if it would be helpful for you to get my opinion, please go ahead, put them in the chat, put an asterisk or a emoji by it so that I know it's time sensitive. I'll do my best to get to it. And then lastly, if you have any new additions or subtractions to your holdings that are up on the board today, if you could please wait till the end of the day, till the market's closed, till I'm done teaching and the pressure's off, and then I will get those all updated for you. Okay? So that's the plan. So hang tight. I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer, and I will be back in 40 seconds. Thanks. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, thanks for holding through me with that. Hi, Frank. Good to see you, my friend. Frank, the trading poet. Hope you're having a good day. All right, well, let's get to it. Beyond Meat. Kamal, Gary, and myself, we did buy Beyond Meat back here on the 19th of August at 125.10. Had a great day the first day right out of the gate. Although it went above the 50 RSI and closed below. So I went ahead, it didn't hit my stop loss, but because it rejected the 50 RSI to the upside, I got out of half to lock in some profit. My stop on the second half is a close below halfway of the washout bar. Here's the washout bar, and you can see today it went underneath it, but I make my decisions at the end of the day, and it bounced off it, closed back above. It is up actually a little bit today. So no profit targets, but up on the day. I will keep this unless it closes below 123.57. 5. All right, Kamal and Gary and I bought 5 here with this higher low V2 at 109.36 back on the 21st. Got in at 109.31. Next day had a great day up. Of course, whenever I have a significant move up, actually larger than the value of one ATR, I do take profit targets. I can't remember if I hit 1 or 2 on this one. It kind of seems like I hit 2. Today opened, went up a little bit, came back down, but well off of its low. So still nicely in the money on the trade, but down 0.96% today. Goldman Sachs, Quad, Steve, Kamal, and myself did buy Goldman Sachs. Let's see. Kamal and I bought it yesterday intraday at 203.79. We bought it intraday. Steve and Quad did buy it with the close over the 200-day at the close at 206.71. Gapped up nicely today. I did hit one profit target right near the top, and it has come back down today. I think Kamal was telling me, yes, 205.04, 205.02. Currently, we, in addition to the close back and break and close back above the 200-day, we also have the 520 crossover, and yesterday the 1030 EMA crossover also took place. So a lot of different signals going on Goldman Sachs. I don't like the bar today. I don't like the big gap up in the reversal, I can tell you that. But being that I got it at such a good price here and have hit profit targets, I am going to stay with this again because the close above the 200-day, and because the 520 crossover and the 1030 EMA crossover. So this is a bearish bar, but I am going to hold on to this and still nicely up on the trade. Play. Bob and I bought play yesterday with this V1 bullish engulfing bar, 520 cross under, 520 crossover. Bought it yesterday at 1446. I did hit one profit target today, within a penny of the high at 1493. It has come back. It's gone way back down, but it has recovered. You know, I had a student ask me the other day, say, well, if you see something going down during the day, why do you wait until the end of the day to make your decision? And this is a good example why. I mean, when it was down here, sure, I could have gotten out, but you never know. Sometimes you're going to be right, sometimes you're going to be wrong, but you're always going to be thinking and wondering and have the anguish of, should I? If you just make the decision that you're going to buy or sell, make your buying and selling decisions at the end of the day, it just takes a lot of stress off of you. Right? It just takes a lot of stress off. So this is up a bit, up 2 points, but that's not up 2 cents, but that's not the important point. The important point is that it's well off of its lows. It did get close to halfway of yesterday's big up bar, bounced off all of that. So anyway, glad with the one profit target there today. And then lastly, SPY. I do buy the SPY every day at the close of the market. I hold it overnight. I take the overnight risk. This is based upon a long-term back-tested study from Liz Ann Saunders at Bespoke Invest. Since 1993, they tested 2 approaches. Approach 1, buy the SPY at the open in the morning, hold it through the day, sell it at the close. If you use this approach every day since 1993, you'd actually return a negative 13.9% return. However, if you do the opposite, which is what I do, buy the SPY at the close, hold it overnight, take the overnight risk. That's where I feel the edges in this approach, and sell first thing the next morning, you have gained 634.2%. So big difference between the approaches, negative 13.9% since 1993 or positive 634% since 1993. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. That's true. It may never work again in the history of the world, but if I'm going to allocate money towards trade, I want it to be something that has good back-tested results. Blue lines, buy at the close, sell the next morning. Orange lines, buy the open, sell the close. You can see there's a big difference, but there are significant drawdowns, multi-year drawdowns. I just look at doing this approach as just being a buyer and holder of the SPY, just like everybody else. But the only difference is that I buy it. The only time I hold it is overnight, not during the day. So I did buy it yesterday at 342.92. And I sold it at the open at 343.53. So not too bad for a little overnight SPY trade. Boy, we're at 73.82 RSI. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable, especially on an index like the SPY. But super high, but this approach calls for doing it every day. So I will be buying this again today at the close. Real quick. Now, a lot of trades here. I apologize for all the clutter in the charts, but I do like to keep track of these for you so I can show you. Okay, here's a 5-minute chart on Intel. Here's the fractal. Here's a high, 2 lower highs to the left, 2 lower highs to the right. I bought it when it broke out of the fractal. I bought it here at 49.32, moved sideways for a couple minutes, and I had boom, boom, up, up, up. 1 bar closed below the previous day's low. I did get out of half of my profits at 49.40, so that was a nice exit there for half. Then I wanted to see if we could get up to the 70. So what I did was I moved my stop up to break. Once I get above 1.5 ATRs, I'm going to move my stop to break even. So I bought here at 49.32. I got out a half at 49.40, and then when it came back to my break even, I just got out for a scratch trade, but still a positive trade. All right, VIX. All right, I did buy VIX here when we had a false breakout to the downside, rejection of the 200-day moving average and a V1. I bought it at 24.68 and immediately went my way, but they came all the way back, closed under the 200-day, which was my stop. So I got in at 24.68. I got out at 24.64 for a 4-cent loss. But that's the key, you know, positioning yourself where if you're wrong, you don't know if you're going to be right, but positioning yourself and having a plan so that if you are wrong small. And I was wrong really small. All right, Apple. Oh man, this is the one that's okay, here we go. Higher low V2 rejection of the 200-day. I bought it here at 49.44. You can see here's a higher low than this low, rejection of the 200-day and a V1. Bought it at 494.49. Lots of 4s and 9s. 494.49. Moved up nicely. Had a close below the previous day's low. So I got in at 494.49 and I got out at 498.01. 4 points. Not too bad, right? Right around 4 points anyway. I'm going to clear up this chart as we go because it's so cluttered. Okay, that's that trade. Second trade, higher low V2 in the value zone. Here we're below the value zone. We come in, come down, test that -1 ATR channel. I got in here with this higher low V2 at intrabar at 495.14. Went up, rejected the 50-day moving average, so I got out a half at 496.10. Moved up and then had a big bullish engulfing V1 to the downside, and I got out of the other half at 495.99. So 495.14 was my entry. Half of my exit was 495.99, and half of my exit was 490. Is that right? 496.10. Yep. All right. Then last trade, I bought this false breakout to the downside. I bought it here at 495.35. Went my way initially, lost the 50 RSI, so I got out of half, a very small loss. Like I said, I got in at 495.35. I got out of half at 495.27. Then it went up, and I thought things were good. Oh, it was right here. Yeah, I got out intrabar. So the other half, I got in at 495.35, and I got out at 495.53. So that was about a scratch trade, all in all. A little bit of a loser, a little bit of a winner, but all in all, really good day trades today, especially those 4-point gainers on Apple. And now it's just taken off. It's just taken off like crazy. Okay, let me check real quick on something. All right, give me 1 sec. I need to turn the air conditioning off. That is too cold. I have it cold in here for Katie, but this is too cold. Okay. All right, let me figure back where we're at again. Okay, Frank, Bob's here. Oh, who else is here? William is here. Hello to all. Hope it's been a good day for you. All. Good day, Greg. Hello, William. Good to see you, sir. Bob is here. Hey, Bob, nice to have you here. Frank has a poem for us. Traders see the forest but trade the trees, positions that change with the wind or a breeze. Stocks can work with ease, others tease. A trader's day is best measured not by time but degrees. Wow, really good, Frank. As always, traders see the forest but trade the trees. Positions that change with the wind or a breeze. Stocks can work with ease, others tease. A trader's day is best measured not by time, but decrees. Wow, so great, Frank. Thank you. That's so true. Some stocks work with ease and others just tease. That little trade that I had in here with Apple was a great example of just kind of teasing. All right, let me paste this so I can post it later. All right, let's take a look at everybody else's trades, see how those are doing. Roku. Karen bought Roku at $149.80, and this is one of those kind of teasers. It's down a little bit on the trade. It's down a little on the day. I mean, nothing major. It hasn't, closed below halfway the washout bar, but this is moving sideways. This is getting ready to move one way or the other. I just wish we knew which way. Frank and Bob bought Johnson & Johnson. Let's see, 147.39. There was a dividend, so that changes everything. But anyway, it's moved up really nice, up on the day and beautifully up on the trade. Google. Okay, so Brian and David did buy Google back here at 1504.50, and it has had a monster run. Steve bought Google at 1578.10 with the 1030 SMA crossover. So he took a different signal. This one was a little early signal that happened to work out. This one was waiting for the confirmation of the crossover, 1578.10. And it is at 1605, up 1.25% today. So everybody on this chart here is in the money. Very nice. Procter & Gamble. Brian bought Procter & Gamble at 128.30. It is now 138.93. Beautiful trade, up on the day, up on the trade. Amazon. Brian bought Amazon at $3,057, and it is now $3,348.56. Massively up on the trade and up nicely on the day. PayPal. Brian's been in PayPal for quite a long time, and it has paid off for him. 174.01 and was the entry, and now it's 201.72, up 1.43% today. Very nice. Frank bought XLU at 59.42. It was immediately took off, but now it is down today and right about break even on the trade. Alibaba. Gary sold September 1820 puts, the 240 235s, meaning that he sold puts at 240, he bought puts at 235. He'll make the difference as long as it closes above 240 by September 18th. Well, it is up 4.23% today, long ways away from 240, so I think he's looking pretty good on that trade. Nice going. FCFS. Bob bought FCFS at 58.10. Big move up, a little sideways, up yesterday, down a little bit today. So it is down a bit today, but still nicely up on the trade. FAS. Frank bought FAS back here, 33.79 with the 520 crossover. This was a monster run for him. I know he got out of 90% of his trade right here, and then it went down. It's rallied a little bit, but it's still back to about where he sold the 90%. So up nicely today. Oh, I always forget about Frank's Apple. Frank bought Apple at $450. It's at $499.76. So what a great trade. Down a little bit today. Haven't seen Apple down much. It's like spotting a rare animal in the wild to see Apple have a red day, but it is a bit red today. NTNX. Karen bought NTNX at $21.49. It's down 1.23% today. And is down on the trade, unfortunately. It looks like it might close below halfway of that washout bar. Car. Frank and Jayhawk MBA did buy Car at $29.54. It is now $30.44. It's up today a little bit, but up nicely on the trade. Facebook. Brian bought Facebook at $235 and $242.98. Facebook looks like, I guess this is an all-time high, right? Yeah. So big breakout today. A lot of volume with the breakout, up 3.48% today. So beautiful trade. Good, two good entries there. Brian. Square. Brian bought Square at 140.33. It is now 155.38, up 2.3%. So up on the day, beautifully up on the trade. Costco, Glenn bought Costco with a breakout at 330. Went skyrocketing up, came down, but has rallied up beautifully on the trade and up on the day. Bob M bought SHLL at 21.85. It is now 39.98, almost a double. Brian and Bob also bought at 27.67 and 32.19. So everybody's up beautifully on the trade. About break even today, just down 10 cents. But what a trade. Fastly, David and Glenn. I think Glenn bought back here at 79.79. And I believe David bought here at 83.87, up 7.26% today, everybody. So both of those gentlemen are beautifully up in the money. Brian bought Sherwin-Williams at 648.69. It is now 670, so up on the trade, a little down on the day. DBX, Kamal bought DBX at 1990, gapped up hugely. Came back down, sideways motion, still up on the trade. It is down a little bit today, but it's still holding the 200-day moving average. Microsoft, Brian bought Microsoft at 214.84. It is now 216.15. So this one was down quite a bit, but this one has rallied and he is now up on the trade. Stitch Fix, Gary bought Stitch Fix back here at 22.56. It is now 25.26, down just a little bit today, but beautifully up on the trade. VRM, Glenn bought VRM at 61.05. It is now 65.28, so nicely up on the trade. Evan bought STZ, Constellation Brands, at 78.12. Went up, down, but it is down a little bit today, but he is profitable on the trade. And last but not least is AMD. Brian bought AMD at 82.72. It is now 85.84. So beautifully up on the trade and up 3.3% on the day. Okay. So pretty good trades there. A mix of winners and losers, but I've definitely seen more winners there than losers. So nice going, everybody. Okay. So listen, before we start going down through the results of the scanner today, before I start looking for my end of day trade, keeping in mind three things always, right? Confluence, combination of indicators, ideally on multiple time frames, analyzing your risk to reward ratio based upon valid support below you and valid and likely resistance above you. You have to do that math. You have to make sure that you can win more than you can lose. 2-to-1's my requirement. And then number three, keeping in mind confluences, how many positions you have, how much account heat you have, are they too correlated? Please keep that in mind. Always please keep that in mind. But before we do that, just want to talk more on the psychological aspects of trading. And there's some really good Facebook and Twitter channels out there that do a really good job of posting great information. And one of our favorites is Stephen Goldstein at Alpha Mind 101. Stephen has the Alpha Mind podcast where he interviews all sorts of different traders at different levels all around the world. That's a fantastic podcast, and I was lucky enough to be interviewed a couple times. But if you haven't subscribed to Stephen, please do. He was a retired trader. He is a full-time, big-time professional trading coach. And so, if he posts something, you should really read it. And you can find his post at AlphaMind101 on Twitter. But let's see what Stephen has to say. I haven't met the person who says they don't overtrade. The reality is that if you don't trade regularly, you won't get that vital feel for the market. A lot of trading is sensing, and to do that, you need to be in it. A lot of trading is sensing, and to do that, you need to be in it. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, so, it's so true. I'm not advocating over trading, but what I'm advocating is learning from the trading that you do. You don't even have to trade. You can sit back and watch charts during the day. You don't have to trade, but reinforcing the patterns, whether they're on a 5-minute chart or a 10-minute chart, 10-minute bars, or dailies or weeklies. That's why, look, I trade on the weeklies, I trade on the dailies, and I trade intraday. You see my trades every day intraday. And I like trading intraday, one, because, I've done pretty well at it. And two, it just reinforces the patterns, because the same patterns that happen on the 1 minute are going to happen on the 5 minute. The same patterns that happen on the 5 minute are going to happen on the hourly and the daily and the weekly. They're all fractals. They're fractals within fractals. They're patterns within patterns within patterns, right? So, if you never, you can sit back and wait for your trade. There's no doubt about it. But I think it's a good idea to watch charts. Put on a 1 minute chart and watch it for an hour and watch these patterns play out. See how they play out. It gives you more confidence when you see them repeat and repeat and repeat. But if you've never seen them repeat, if someone just tells you that they work, well, I guess you can take their word for it, but you're going to be a better trader if you have a feel for it, if you see them, if you're confident that they work. And so I'm not advocating over trading at all, but I am advocating watching charts. Watch small time frames like 1 minute or 3 minutes or 5 minutes, because you'll just see the patterns play out over and over and over. So anyway, I hope that helps. What I do, especially with my students, I go through without knowing what's coming in the future. And I say, okay, where are we looking for something? What are we looking for? If I get some kind of crossover, if I get a deep dip buy to the 30 RSI, or I get a higher, lower V1 or V2, repetition is very important. And the best kind is when you don't know what's coming and you can just go back in time and just move forward in time to see how you would have done and watch the patterns repeat. Or you can just do it in real time and you don't have to trade. You don't have to trade, but I want you to get the experience, and I want you to be able to reinforce that the pattern that you've been taught to trade, or how you trade, actually does work. So anyway, thank you, Stephen Goldstein. I really appreciate it, my friend. You're a great guy, great podcast. And again, he's at AlphaMind 101 over on Twitter. Johan wants to look at WKHS. WKHS. Oh, Workhorse. I've traded this. Well, Johan, the time to have bought it was yesterday, not today. My students will know, Kamal will be able to look at this and go, this was a great setup yesterday. Obviously it worked out. We didn't know, but the setup's great. We have this big bar. We come back down. We have a higher low V1. Here's the V1, bar 1, bar 2. Bar 2 washes out, bar 1 closes above. Honestly, if I would have seen this yesterday, I very likely would have taken this. This is a really good setup. But I wouldn't be buying it today. Yesterday, and I'll teach you this in our lessons, but this is a nice higher low V1 that rejected the 50 Fibonacci point of this big up bar. So, we're up at the 1 ATR channel. This is right where we're getting some resistance. It's 1 standard deviation away from the mean, and that's right where it caught some resistance. So yeah, I wouldn't be buying it today. It could go higher, certainly. It's a fractal high with 2 lower highs to the left, but yesterday was the time to buy it, in my opinion. All right, let's take a look-see at the potentials for today. VIX, our old friend VIX. I didn't buy VIX yesterday because we did not trigger the V1. We did trigger a V2 intraday, but now it has untriggered. This is interesting because MACD has gone positive. We're still holding that 30 RSI. We have a ATR divergence, meaning that, you look at these bars over here, we're at the negative third ATR channel. Now we're pretty much close to being the same low when we're only at the negative 2 ATR channel. It's a V1 to the downside. It still is holding the 30 RSI. Earlier in the day when it triggered the V2, I was more interested in looking at this. Now I'm not so much anymore. REGN, well, we have a nice double bottom here with a V2 entry. Here's bar 1, 2, 3, bar 2, washes out bar 1, bar 3. Looks like it's going to close above bar 1's close right here. Now look, this gets back to talking about risk to reward. Yes, it is a higher, it is a V2. It did reject the negative 1 ATR channel. In addition to currently it is a valid V2. We have rejected the 10-day moving average already. We are 47.76, meaning let's see how high we got RSI wise. At the top, 48.68. Let's look at the weekly on here. Well, I'll tell you what, this is a great example of a triple screen. Dr. Elder teaches this. Long-term time frame, the monthly, in a nice, strong uptrend, clear uptrend. On the weekly, on the intermediate term time frame, it has come back down into the value zone, which is good because in a long term, yes, even long-term uptrends on their intermediate time frames do come back into the value zone. So I like the weekly being up. I like the monthly being up, the weekly being back down into the value zone, and then you would go to the earliest time frame, which would be the daily in this case, and look for a potential entry. Well, this is a potential entry. The risk to reward concerns me here. So we'll look at that one. Dexcom. Let's see, monthly uptrend, weekly back in the value zone, daily. I would have to say I like this one better. This is a higher low V2. We went under 50, over 50, V1, but under 50, over 50, bullish engulfing bar, V1. We're over the 50 RSI. We are over the 5, 10, and the 20. This one's not too bad. I actually like it better than REGN. BIDU, Baidu. This is a little similar to what Johan was having me look at with Workhorse. This is a higher low V1. I don't know if that quite washed it out enough. Looks like we have some crossovers here. We're right at the 1 ATR channel. Big bar up. We held 50% of that. MACD looks like it is just went positive. Let's look on the weekly or the monthly. Weekly's okay. Some volume coming in today. It seems just a touch high to me. And there is a lot of resistance right up in this area. You can tell every time we got up here, we came down, we got up, we came down, we got up, we came down. Is it going to happen again? I don't know. This one's okay, but I think I like Dexcom better. DDD, 3D Corporation. Well, earlier in the day, it was above the 30 RSI. I don't see that anymore. It's underneath, so that wouldn't be interesting to me. Snap, very close to a double bottom. We have a V1, but it is up against a bar that's pretty large. It's larger than 1 ATR, so I'm going to let that one go. AVAV, it's holding support at the -1 ATR channel and at the 50-day moving average. which is good, but I really don't see a trigger per se. There is a V1, but it didn't wash out yesterday's low of the bar very well. Cyber, well, I'll tell you what. I mean, if we look at Cyber over on the fractal chart, I thought the alligator would be sleeping a little bit more, but it's not. So let's just look at it at this one. Look, here's a fractal. Here's a high with two lower highs to the left, a high with two lower highs to the right. If we could get above that 200-day moving average and trigger that fractal, like right there, there's a fractal. If we could trigger that, fractal and in addition break and close back over the 200 and the 50 RSI, that's what I would be looking for. So I don't like anything here on this yet today, but tomorrow could be fantastic because it could have a long way to run. But if it can get above that fractal point and get above that 200, that would be. But anyway, hopefully that comes out on the scanner Kamal tomorrow. I might just have to keep that one on there because that one does look like it has some potential. McKesson Corporation, false breakout to the downside, V2. It's in that weird area though, 47.72 RSI, has the 50 RSI above it, has a 50-day moving average above it. Let's look over on the weekly. Weekly's okay. It's in the value zone, but not a lot of volume either. DT, it's not bad. Higher low V2, MACD is positive. We do have the 50-day above us. Let's look over on the weekly. Weekly dip down into the value zone. How about volume on this one? When you look at the intraday charts, that's okay. All right, so we'll put this one over here. Fastly, David and Glenn already have this, having a great day, up 7.23%. This one is a higher low V2. It did test the 50% of the big down bar. Looks like we have a crossover. This one looks pretty good. That one looks pretty good as well. Lamb Research, up a little bit today. It's had a bit of a significant dip here the last 10 days or so, 7 days. I would like to see some kind of rejection of the 50-day moving average, V1, V2 at the 50-day moving average. That would make the most sense to me on Lamb Research. WB, MACD crossover. 520 crossover, we're right up against resistance. I think there's better than that. EDU, false breakout to the downside in a V1. Again, we're in that weird spot. We're at a 47.51 RSI, so we're close to the 50. We're also close to the 50 moving average. I think I have to let that one go. Yelp. Same thing, 47.40 RSI near the 50-day moving average. NKTR. This is an under 30, over 30 RS. This is a deep dip buy, under 30, over 30. But under the negative third, over the third, that's good. I just, I talk about confluences of signals, right? Looking for confluences of signals. Some of the ones we had over here have a lot more confluences of signals than just that one. And EVRG, same, under 30, over 30. Earlier I liked NKTR. Now I actually like this one a little better. This big old guy over here concerns me though. Let's look at the weekly. Yeah, I think the ones that over here better, honestly. All right, so I'm not interested in VIX. This is Dexcom, DXCM, bullish engulfing bar, V1, rejection of the 50, under 50, over 50. My stop on this would be a close under the 50-day moving average. This is a good confluence of a 50-day moving average and halfway of the washout bar. So this one looks pretty good. And in addition to that, on the multiple time frames, we have the big move up on the monthly. We have the weekly, we have the pullback into the value zone, so we've had a bit of a dip. So that one looks pretty good. REGN. I like Dexcom better for the mere fact that we're over the 50 RSI right now. BIDU, this is a little bit of a different type of trade. This has some volume to it. Dynatrace. It's that big 50-day that's just sitting right overhead that concerns me a little bit. Man, nice trade David and Glenn today on this, for sure. Boy, these are tough ones today. These are tough ones. See the big bar on the weekly way over here. So, you know, if we get up to halfway, retrace halfway up here, I just feel like you're going to find some resistance here about 97. Doesn't mean that there's not enough room in the trade for it. But, yeah, I'm just going to pass on that one. I like DXCM and I like BIDU the best. So let me just go back up and look at my current positions before I start thinking about any new ones. Beyond Meat looks fine. Looks like it's holding its stop. It is down a little on the trade. I guess it's probably about slightly up on the trade because I did sell half up here when it rejected the 50, which I'm glad I did. It's not a good sign when you reject the 50-day. Doesn't mean you have to always get out of the entire position, but it's a bit of a red flag. You know, and I like to take a kind of a safety by taking a half, but it is holding my initial stop, which is 123.57. Did bounce, it went below it and closed above it. So anyway, as long as this closes above 123.57, I will be holding this. 5, we talked about that. That one's down on the day, but positive on the trade, so I don't see any reason to do anything with that. Goldman Sachs. Does have the 520 crossover, so that's good, in addition to the 1030 EMA crossover yesterday and the close back above the 200-day. I don't like how this, you know, I don't like the bar, I don't like the open and the reversal, but with all the crossovers and it's still holding the 200-day and, you know, the buying it intraday at the 203.79 price, I am going to go ahead and keep Goldman Sachs. Play, which was down 2%, it's actually up 0.5% now, so that's fantastic. Did hit one profit target there, so I am going to keep this. I am, you know, this is the 520 crossover, so my plan with this is treating this like a crossover trade. So if the price closes below both the 5 and the 20, I will get out of half. If the 5 then crosses under the 20, I will get out of the second half. If we move more than 1.5 ATRs for my entry, I'll start trailing with the close below the previous day's low, but only for half. So anyway, it's fine. It's up. So that's good. SPY, of course, doing the overnight SPY trade. Bob says Vapo. Well, it's a fractal, Bob. Here's your high with 2 lower highs to the left, 2 lower highs to the right. Let me go over and take a look at this on the fractal chart. Kamal, if you're listening, yes, I mean, you'll know what I'm talking about. But yes, we have a high here with two lower highs to the left, two lower highs to the right. We did hit the fractal, but the high of the fractal was not above the red bar. So oof. Yeah, so we went under 30. I mean, listen, it's not bad. Under 30, over 30, under the negative third, over the negative third, and a fractal. It's pretty dang good. Not a lot of volume on this stock. I don't see a lot of volume here today. We have got rejected at the 10-day. That would be my only concern there, Bob. I do like Dexcom, but it's going to have to close above these moving averages, which I feel like it's going to do. And Baidu, I'm not going to take both of these. I'm not going to take both of these. Crossovers, bullish engulfing, V1, but we got rejected right there, under the 50, over the 50. A lot of volume on this one, so that's better. Monthly, weekly is okay, daily. You know, all in all, I like Dexcom better because of the strong uptrend on the monthly. The weekly has come back down, found some support near the value zone and the 1 ATR channel with support below it. And then the trigger here. So as long as this closes above 50 RSI, I will buy it. My stop will be right here with the 50-day moving average close below the 50-day moving average, and that's a good confluence right there along with the 50-day moving average, or the 50% Fibonacci of this big bar. We move up big, we should hold halfway. The halfway of that fib number lines up right with that 50-day moving average and probably with the 50 RSI as well. You okay, Katie? What's happening? Yeah. Yeah, Dexcom is the one that I like here as long as it closes above 50 RSI. You okay, girl? What's happening? Oh, man. Katie's a little weak today, everyone. I just wish she would eat more. I beg and plead with her to eat. I hand feed her, but she's just not that interested in it. All right, we have about 5 minutes to go. So I'm going to put Dexcom over here so I can watch that one. Take a quick look and see what Apple's doing intraday. Bouncing around up here at these levels for sure. All right, we have 5 minutes, and Dexcom is the one that I'm going to be buying today, and that's about it. Gary M, hey buddy, how you doing? Hi Greg and group. Sorry to hear about Katie. Yeah, man, she's just kind of struggling today. She's over there panting. Yep. I'm just hoping that she has a cold or something, that she gets over it. But you know, she's an old gal. That's the thing. Nice little V1 negative rejection of the -1 ATR channel on the 39-minute bar here on the VIX. All right, let me get Dexcom ready over here. 20-cent spread on this, by the way, everyone. Keep that in mind. And so what I'm doing, I take my maximum loss allowed on any one trade. Let's just say it's $1,000 that I was willing to lose on any one trade. Maybe 1% of my account. Take $1,000, divide it by the value of the two ATRs, which would be 35.21. Oops. 1,000 divided by 35.21. In that case, hypothetical case, it would tell me to buy 28 shares. So if it goes down 35.21 points and hits my emergency stop, then I would lose exactly that $1,000. Now that's my emergency stop. That's not, most of the time what I'm going to hit. I'm going to hit my end of day stop. My end of day stop is closed below halfway of the washout bar. So let's see, is this selling off a little at the end of the day? Nope, not really. All right, 3 minutes to go. I'm going to go ahead and buy Dexcom right here. And buy it here as well. All right. So Beyond Meat's fine. Has not hit my stop loss. 5. Nicely positive. Good reversal off the bottom today. Nothing to do there. Goldman Sachs, I'm holding that until the 200-day moving average. Play nicely went positive after being down a couple percent and one profit target. SPY, of course, I'm buying that at the end of the day. Oh, I forgot. Quad and Bob also bought Intel at, let's see, 49.22. So Quad and Bob are in the money on Intel. A lot of sideways motion here on this one. I'd like to see if this thing could trend, but these sideways motion do lead to trends. But I'm glad that's up for you too today. Kamal has no trades today. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, we don't need to trade every day, right? We do not need to trade every day. So about 20 seconds left. Let's see what Apple does here in the last. Oh, it's running a little bit in there. So strange to see Apple down. It's been so rare. Okay, that's it. So we're going to take a look, see where I got my entries. Then, if you have any changes today, any new additions or subtractions, put them in the chat for me and I'll get them all taken care of. But before I do that, just real quick, just want to do my little daily plug, remind everybody that I do offer private one-on-one coaching and teaching lessons in the evening time via Skype. I have been trading for 24 years. I have studied one-on-one with some really great teachers and authors and mentors over the 24 years, like Stephen Burns, Carrie Lavorne, Dr. Alexander Elder, Larry Williams. I've studied one-on-one with each one of these gentlemen and really picked their brains, I promise you. And, my method of trading is a combination of all four of these gentlemen's approaches, and that's what I teach in my course. It's a one-on-one course in the evening time via Skype. The course is 15 hours, 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours. Long form teaching. I think learning anything you'll learn the best if you do it one-on-one with repetition and time, and that's why I structure my classes one-on-one. So if you've been thinking about taking the course with me, I know you're going to like it. It's challenging at times, but learning anything valuable, kind of hard sometimes, right? I shouldn't say hard, but it takes effort, and there is a lot of effort put into this course, both by me and by my students. Kind of what I demand from them. So if you're interested in taking the course with me or talking to me about the course, send me an email. My email is in the description of this video. You can also send me a message on Twitter at Gossett Trading. And if you do reach out to me, I'll reply and say, how's it going? Let's do a Skype call. The Skype call is free. There's never any sales pressure. When we're done with the call, I'll just say, hey, it was really nice meeting you. Think about it. If you're interested, you can email me back. All right. But I just like to talk to you, find out a little bit more about you and your trading and your goals. And it's a really good time for you to ask me questions, about the course and what the course entails. So it's $1,000. I think it's worth every penny. I think it's worth way more than that, to be honest with you. But I started this channel and I started teaching because, when I started out, boy, did I lose a lot of money, and I went through a lot of pain. And, when I almost got done, I almost quit, and I'm like, I like doing this, but I have to learn how to do it. And that's why I sought out real coaches that knew what they were doing, and they got me coached up over 24 years, and that's what I teach. So if you're interested, let's do the Skype call. Just send me an email or send me a message on Twitter, and we'll get it taken care of. And then if you like today's podcast, I would really appreciate it if you could just take a half a second and just hit the thumbs up button for me. Helps build the channel, help keep the channel going. Gets the visibility of the channel out there. So, but only if you liked it. If you didn't like it, then hit the thumbs down button or do nothing at all. But if you did like it and you find it valuable, I would really appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button or share it on social media. And I guess if you haven't subscribed, also hit the subscribe button. I don't usually say that, but that's true too. Okay, so let me take a look and see where. All right, so Dexcom I bought at 430.20, and the SPY I bought at 344.12. How you doing, Katie Guro? Probably can hear her panting over there. Well, the rally continues. It's unbelievable. I mean, it's really unbelievable, folks. 344, 344.12. I remember back when it was 300, wondering if 300 would hold. Ha! All right. And then Dexcom, 430.20. Okay, and again, the stop on Dexcom for me is a close below halfway the washout bar, which just lines up nicely with that 50-day moving average. So if it closes below there, I just have to admit I'm wrong and look for a new trade. But I'll not be negative on it, but really the first thing you should do anytime you get into a new trade before anything is, where am I going to be wrong? Kind of assuming that you're going to be wrong and position sizing for it accordingly. Right? First thing, always, what I always teach my new students, first thing, always is set your emergency stop. Well, my emergency stop is $35.21 below my entry. Anyway, way down there. Now, do I think I'm going to hit that? Well, I hope not, but in the worst case scenario, if I do, I know exactly how much I'll lose, right? So there's always two stops going on here. There's an emergency stop and there's an end of day stop. And the emergency stop is the value of the two ATRs all the way down right about here. But I'm not buying this just going, well, I'm in this unless it goes down there. No. My end of day stop, if tomorrow it closed below the 50, I would get out. But I like to have that emergency stop there just in case. If I'm wrong, I know I want to be wrong way outside of regular noise, outside of one standard deviation. That's why I picked the 2 ATRs. And I want to know exactly how much I'm going to lose. I like to standardize my losses. So I hope that all makes sense, everyone. Okay. Brian sold SHLL, bought Dexcom. Okay. Brian M bought Dexcom and got out of SHLL. Okay, nice trade, Brian. So it looks like Bob is still in. Yeah, so Bob is still in. Gary bought Dexcom. All right, well, I hope Dexcom goes up for us. Of course, we never know, though, right? We never know. That's why no matter how good of a setup it is, you need to position size correctly so that if you're wrong, you know exactly how much you're gonna be within reason, right? You could have a gap overnight that took you out lower than that, but it's possible as well. So I have Gary M, Brian M in on Dexcom. Frank says, I did buy NIO today at 1550. Okay. Whoa, way to go, Frank. Man, 1550. What a trade, my friend. Up 19%. Holy smokes. Wow, beautiful, Frank. Congratulations. Boy, some of these percentage gains lately have just been insane. A 2 or 3% gain is pretty good, but in this day and age, my gosh, 19%, and that SHLL was like up double. Nice going, Frank. Dan says, other traders charge for group lessons. Greg does this without cost. The least we can do is smash the YouTube thumbs up button. Thank you, Greg. Thanks, Dan. I appreciate that. Yeah, listen, everything I teach in my private lessons, I teach here. There's no difference other than there's a lot more time available and it's one-on-one. So anyway, yeah, I'm hoping that, you know, what I'm teaching, you know, hope that it's useful for. But thank you, Dan. I appreciate the thumbs up request. Bob says, you can take Shill off the board. I'm holding long term. Okay. Done and done. Well, I'll tell you what, Apple has been a really good day trading vehicle for me lately. It has just had a lot of volatility. Well, I mean, most of it's just been an up move, but the dips, you know, I've been really aware of buying dips on Apple because to date, buying dips on Apple has been a good approach. All right, so what's happening after hours here? Beyond Meat's even. Dexcom's even. 5 is down 32 cents. Goldman Sachs is even. You okay, Katie girl? Ugh. SPY's up 19 cents. All right. Well, is there anything I can help anybody with? If you need clarification on anything, this would be a great time. Doesn't look like we had a lot of entries or exits today. I don't feel like this is a normal day for me because I didn't do a trade for Kamal either on or off, so something feels missing. Thank you, Kamal, for giving us the results of the scan. You know, just looking at this chart, this is this SHLL. It's a great example of consolidation. See the small bars, the small sideways bars. Small sideways bars always lead to big moves, to big bars, either to the upside or the downside. But right, small, 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 small turns to big, 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 small, 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 big, big. So that's why I prefer to buy when things are moving sideways and consolidating and selling into the strength than trying to chase and buy momentum. Bob says CRM up 7% after hours earnings beat. I don't think we have anybody has CRM, do we? Unfortunately. What is it, girl? You a little fussy? Yeah. Yes, she is drinking water, Frank. She is. I put some little electrolytes in the water for her. So yes, I'm glad that she is drinking, and she's eating a little bit, just a little bit through the day. But I have to hand feed her and beg and please and do a little dance and coo to get her to eat. You know, I've had so many dogs over my life. I raised a pack of 10 German Shepherds, if you can believe that. A pack of 10. Mom, dad, and all 8 kids. And I had one St. Bernard thrown on top of that, so that was 11. And it's always a tough time when you have these old dogs and they're not feeling well. I mean, you know, Katie's my best friend. I spend 99% of my time with her, and, you know, I just love her with all my heart. And it's just heartbreaking. Anyway, wow, CRM's up 8.7% now. Wow, these moves are insane. They are just insane. I mean, congratulations if anybody has it. I hope you do. All right. Well, listen, thanks for coming today. Frank, thank you for the great poem. Kamal, thank you for the results of the scanner. Steve, thanks for coming by, buddy. Always good to see you as always. And I guess I'm going to put my hiking boots on, go for a little hike. My heart's not in it right now, but it's important that I do it. So, have a good rest of your day. Go out and do something nice for somebody. And we will hopefully see you tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and Forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice. and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.